Hello and welcome to this channel, and if you are the first time here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button to see the latest technology videos. In this video we are discussing about Java server pages. So JSP benefits over competing technologies. So versus PHP, better language for dynamic part and better tool support. Versus pure servlet, easier to create HTML and can use standard tools and separate business logic from the presentation. So PHP Hypertext Preprocessor is a free open source HTML enabled scripting language that is similar to both the ASP and JSP, and one advantage of JSP is that dynamic part is written in Java, which already has an extensive API for networking, database access, distributed objects and whereas PHP requires learning an entirely new, less widely used language. And a second advantage is that JSP is much more widely supported by tool and server vendors than PHP. So JSP lifecycle. So when a HTTP request is mapped to a JSP page, it is handled by a special built-in servlet that is provided by a container that first checks whether the JSP page's servlet is older than the JSP page, and if it is, the container translates the JSP page into a servlet Java code and compiles the servlet code into servlet class. And this is done automatically by the container, and this is one of the advantages of using JSP over servlet from developer standpoint. So JSP page lifecycle phases. They are translation phase, compilation phase and execution phase. So the lifecycle of a JSP page can be divided into three phases. Translation phase, in which a JSP page gets translated into a servlet code. Compilation phase, in which the servlet code gets compiled, and then execution phase, in which the servlet instance then serves the client request. So usually translation and compilation phases occur together. So JSP page lifecycle phases, translation or compilation. So JSP files get translated into servlet source code, which is then compiled. So done by the container automatically. So the first time JSP page is accessed after it is deployed or modified and redeployed. For JSP page name, the source code resides. So in translation or compilation phase, a JSP page gets translated and compiled automatically if there is no compiled class already. So if you deploy your JSP page for the first time, or if you modified the JSP page, then translation and compilation will occur. So this is why sometimes you observe the response time takes a bit longer when you access a relatively sophisticated JSP page for the first time, because the container has to do translation and compilation before it can handle your request. So usually, in order to reduce this first time delay, the developers call their JSP pages at the time of deployment, or in many cases the container might do that way. So for a JSP page named page name under Tomcat, the translated source code for a JSP page servlet is kept in the file jswsp home work/standard engine /localhost /context root /page name jsp.java. So translation or compilation. So static template data is transformed into code that will emit data into the stream, and JSP elements are treated differently. So directives are used to control how web container translates and executes a JSP page, and scripting elements are inserted into JSP page servlet class, and elements of the form JSP are converted into method calls to Java Beans components. So during the translation phase, each type of data in a JSP page is treated differently. That is, static data will be treated differently from dynamic contents, generation elements, and static data, this is sometimes called as template data, is transformed into Java code that will emit the data into the output stream, which returns data to the client. However, JSP elements which are typically used for dynamic content generation are treated as directives are used to control how the web container translates and executes the JSP page. Scripting elements are directly inserted into JSP pages servlet class unmodified, and elements of the form JSP are converted into method calls to Java Beans components or invocations of the Java Servlet API. So JSP page lifecycle phases execution. We have init JSP init event, then request response JSP service, and destroy event JSP destroy. So once the page has been translated and compiled, the JSP page servlet for the most part follows the servlet lifecycle. So if an instance of the JSP page servlet does not exist, the container loads the JSP page servlet class, then container then creates an instance of the servlet class, and container then initializes the servlet instance by calling the JSP init method, and then container invokes the JSP service method passing a request and response object, and if the container needs to remove the JSP page servlet, it calls the JSP destroy method. So this was a brief discussion on Java server pages, and we will be discussing more on Java in the upcoming videos. And if you are the first time here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button to see the latest technology videos. Thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.